morning. It's Sunday, the 16th of October 2016, and yesterday I went to purchase my euros from Thomas Cook in preparation for the oncoming holiday to Disney Euro Disney with my nephew and his little family. That's all happening in November. Oh my God, what an awful rate, dear. Dreadful rate. I think we got just over €1 to the pound. God, but it doesn't really matter really, because the only thing we've got to buy is food. Everything else is paid for. You know, once you buy these Disney tickets, whether it's Florida or Euro Disney, you do it all at this end. You pay your money and you just go. So it's just a little bit of money for food. I haven't taken I always worry I haven't taken enough money, and I always come back with more than I took. Do you find that? Well, not more than I took, but more than I thought I'd have left in my pocket. Does that happen to you as well? Are you thrifty on holiday? Or are you one of those thrifty people? Or once you're on holiday, is it, I'm on holiday, don't care. Out comes the credit card, You get back home 1 month later, bang. Nice big bill. Doesn't happen to me. You must restrain yourselves, boys and girls. Restraint. That's what we need in this world. Restraint. There must be continuing austerity to anyone's going out of the UK. I've no interest at the moment in flying anywhere outside the UK since discovering caravan holidaying. Oh, yes. Now, my next booked caravan holiday is not until May, and I do feel I need to go somewhere before then. And I'm wondering what it's like on the Isle of Wight in March, sort of March, April time, February, March, April. Huh? What would it be like on the Isle of Wight at that time? Vectis and Shania and Callum. What is it like there? I mean, I don't know. I'd be there all on my own, Daddy Vectis, and there would be no one to look after me while I was there. I would be so lonely. Do you think there might be one or two little people there who might be able to show me around? Not that I haven't been before. I did go to the Isle of Wight once with someone else's girlfriend. Shh. That's many, many years ago now, and they were already going out. Well, there was worse. They were engaged. And I took her to the Isle of Wight. Yeah, what? Yes, I have been out with girls before. Yes. Why do you find that so strange? Got to try everything. Now, I've got my I think possibly my favourite jacket today. Now, this isn't everyone's favourite jacket, and it hasn't been out for some months now. Lovely line. Look at that lining. It's got little fishes on it. Can you see the fishes? Do you want to be a bit closer, dear? Just a minute. Come closer, and listen. There we are. Look, little fishes on the lining. Look, fishes. We like little fish. Oh, what's that there? Oh, I found a secret pocket. Maybe there's a... Oh, no, there's nothing in there. Look, might be a secret pocket. I've got this is my Rupert the Bear. My Rupert the Bear jacket. I quite like this one. So I got my euros today, all ready for the holiday. This morning, I had to take the car to church. It was pouring down with rain this morning. Absolutely chucking it down. And as I came out, there were massive great puddles. You could hear it on the church roof. I could barely hear what he was saying, the priest. He had to speak up louder, turn the microphone up, dear. So that's what I did this morning so far. And now I'm here chatting to you. Last night, I had a night off last night, so I watched quite a lot of television. I've been, over the last few days, and, while I had flu last week, I've really made an indent into my hard disk recorder that was telling me I was at 58% full or something like that. I think, and I've now got it down to about 32%. I was watching a program, and it's surprising how many of these programs or how far back they go. I put this thing on and I thought that looks like the BBC One Christmas ident. Do you know what an ident is? An ident is that little thing that comes on in between the programs. Used to be a globe. Oh, hang on. Well, I think I might have put my BBC One colour T-shirt. I was going to wear that this morning. Why haven't I got that on today? I don't know. Yes, it used to be the globe, but the ident came on, and it was a little Christmassy sprout. Do you remember that on BBC One Colour last year? The little Christmas sprout that came on between the programmes? That came on. So this recording's been on there nearly a year waiting to be watched. Anyway, the programme itself was called Capital. And it's about these people who live in a street that has suddenly all the houses are increasing in value. And all the houses keep getting postcards and videos of their houses and the people in them, well, not actually in them, but, going in, like if it's a video, it shows people going in and out of the house with the little message, we want what you've got. And these letters and things keep coming through. And I haven't got to I'm nearly at the end of it now. So I can't wait to see who's sending all these things back. We want what you've got. That's the only message on there. And it's about various different families and their stories. There's one bloke that's in a really high-powered trading job, where they trade and sell things on the computer and all that business. He's lost his job. There was a lovely elderly lady who died, and the daughter of the elderly lady, that was callous. She's actually getting in decorators' quotes before the old lady had died, so it would all be ready when she was dead. Isn't that awful? I think that's dreadful. People do stuff like that, don't they? When they're about to die or when they have just died. Dreadful. In fact, there's a little story today. I'll read that to you in a minute. What else? There was another one in there. There was a black lady. Black is significant in this case because she's come from I think it's Zambia, and she's been working illegally. Okay, and they're trying to kick her out of the country, but another man has fallen in love with her, and he's trying to get her off the hook. I think she's in like a detention centre. I think that's what they're called, or something like that. So that's going on. There's probably another couple. There's an Asian family who have got a shop, and the police have come, and someone's been doing terrorist things on the computer. But the bloke they want has already run off. They've arrested all the family. It's very, very good. But all these families have one thing in common, and that is they keep getting these little notes saying, we want what you've got. Does anyone remember this from last year? It was called Capital. I assume it's not available on iPlayer or anything now, but very, very good programme. Very good indeed. So I was watching that. And then I went out for a nighttime walk. Now, I used to do this all the time if I had a night off, but I haven't done it for ages. And I left my house around about 11:15, and there's like a kind of a circuit that I do. And you see very few people. It was about 11:15 that I left the house, locked up, and started walking, just walking on this circuit. And I got back at about an hour later, about 20 to 12 it was. And that was nice. It wasn't particularly that cold last night. It wasn't wet like it was this morning. It was pouring down this morning, the rain. Did it pour down where you were? No? Oh, well. Well, you're lucky, aren't you, dear? You're lucky. It looks now, it's starting to brighten up outside, so I think the sun would be illuminating on my garden this morning. I had lunch in the garden yesterday. That was nice. If you sat in the sun, it was mainly unbroken clouds, unbroken sky, no clouds in the sky. If you sat in the sun, it was quite warm in there last night. It was quite warm out there yesterday daytime, so that was nice as well. So I come back from my walk, watched a bit more telly, and then went to bed. So that was quite nice. Now let's see. Oh, I also managed. It was difficult. I managed to watch a whole 15 minutes of the X Factor, but I soon gave up on that. Same old crap. Same four old faces sitting on there saying the same old things. How boring is that programme now? God's sake, the X Factor. Here's the story, and this is awful. This is from Paul Daniels' son in the Daily Mail this morning. She's just a jumped-up dancer with no talent. Paul Daniels' son claims Debbie McGee has not given him a penny of his father's entire £1.5 million estate. Now, when I looked at that, I said £1.5 million. For someone like Paul Daniels, I don't think that's a lot of money. I think he must have lost some money somewhere, or... Do you reckon? It don't sound a lot, does it? Because he was big. Paul Daniels was big. He was massive. it says his father's entire £1.5 million estate has been left to the magician's wife. He claims that despite his stepmother promising to look after him, he's not received any financial help. And that's it. But I bet there's they're in Berkshire. They must be quite close to me then, dear. Quite close to me. But I wonder, you do wonder sometimes. That's the headline, and you read the story. There's nothing much there. But there's something else they're missing. You know what I mean? Try and read between the lines, I think. I think there's something else missing there. And it's just awful when someone dies and then there's a big row about money. Isn't that hideous? My lodger who used to live here, I'm going back here about 20 years now, and his mother died. And I think there was a bit of a row to do with money, and solicitors come. But once solicitors become involved, they're the ones who get all the money. I'm telling you that now. And they were left with just a few £100 each. It's just awful. People rowing about money when someone's died. That's why you should all have very important to have a will, boys. I've got a will. It's all up with the solicitors, all tied up in a little sealed box somewhere with a little ribbon around it. When she was putting the ribbon around the box, I noticed it was. I said, "Do you mind? Could I possibly have a pink ribbon around that box?" And she said, "Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Reardon, that's another £25, thieving cow." I said, "Well, I will pay that £25 just to spite you. I want a pink ribbon around my will box. Thank you very much. Would you like to know who I've left it to? Katie the cat is going to be very, very rich." So that's that. Now look at this. Johnny Keys sent this in last week, I think it was. The idea, this is about Sooty. You remember Sooty? He was a little puppet. Now, I don't have a puppet here, only the fingers. Hello. What now? Hang on a minute. Did Sooty speak? No, he didn't speak, did he? Sooty didn't speak. So why didn't Sooty speak? Is there a reason why Sooty didn't speak? Sweep did. That was Sweep, weren't it? Well, he had a girlfriend as well, Sue. And Sue, she had a very, very nice voice like that. She was a very boring voice, Sue. She was very sweet, wasn't she, Sue? Do you remember Sue? Well, the idea to introduce a female puppet to Sooty's children's television show in the 1960s was so controversial that the BBC Director General had to intervene, a new documentary has revealed. The suggestion by Sooty creator Harry Corbett caused a furore in the press, which claimed it would introduce sex into a children's programme. I mean, how could you even think that? Sooty has a girlfriend, therefore they must be having sex. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. I like Barry Manilow, but we're not having sex. Same thing. Except, of course, Barry Manilow or myself are not puppets. There's nothing up me working my mouth. There isn't. Anyway, it goes on. The show's producer and a BBC governor. Oh, they're so important, aren't they? BBC governors. Very, very important people. BBC governor. Oh, right, okay, mate. Yeah. Whatever, mate. Whatever. Were against the show's producer and a BBC governor were against Sooty having a girlfriend. BBC Director General at the time stepped in to allow Panda Sue's introduction. Sue, that was Sooty's girlfriend. Matthew Corbett, Harry's son, told the documentary, "My father was called into head office and the Director General at the BBC said he'd made a decision." He said the Director General had ruled that Sooty having a female friend was to be allowed, but they must never touch. Oh, what's the point in having a girlfriend if you can't touch her? There's no point, is there? So Sue was introduced in 1965 when I was just 2 years old, boys and girls. Oh, I remember it well. Oh, life was so simple when you were 2 years old, wasn't it? She was originally voiced by Harry Corbett's wife, Marjorie, and she has been at Sooty's side ever since. Oh, isn't that nice? Sooty's, hello, Sue. Hello, Sooty. How are you today? But Sooty never speaks. What a boring person that must be. Just imagine going out with Sooty. He don't say nothing. He says nothing. A lot of people, there's actually a few people would like me to say nothing as well, I reckon. I reckon that's the case, I reckon. Now, look at this. From The Guardian. Now, we don't usually do stories from The Guardian. I'm not a fan, not in the slightest. But the man who thinks trees talk to each other. Trees have friends. I believe you can talk. I talk to my tree. I'm surrounded by trees here. It's beautiful here. Trees have friends, feel loneliness, scream with pain and communicate underground via the World Wide Web. The Wood Wide Web. Wood Wide Web. Some act as parents and good neighbours. Others do more than just throw shade. They're brutal bullies to rival species. The young ones. Oh, the young ones. The young ones. Oh, hang on, I lost my place now. The young ones take risks with their drinking and leaf dropping, then remember the hard lessons from their mistakes. It's a hard knock life. A book called The Hidden Life of Trees is not an obvious bestseller, but it's easy to see popular appeal of German forester Peter Walben's claims. They are so Bloody hell, what's this? Why have you chosen a story with a word like this that you know I can't pronounce, Johnny? Anthropomorphic. Anthropomorphic. They are so anthropomorphic. So what the bloody hell does that? Just a moment. What is it? Anthropomorphic. Just a moment. Let me get my Reader's Digest Universal Dictionary up. Anthropomorphic. I don't know what that means. Oh, I can't even see the words in it. The glasses are here. Thank you. I've got eye tests. It's all happening this week. Eye test Monday, dentist Wednesday. I've been to the dentist for a year. Isn't that terrible? Hang on. Was it Antho? I've lost it now. Anthro. A-N-T-H. Anthrax? No. Anthropod? No, is it before or after that? A-N-T-H-R-O-P. A-N-T-H-R-O-P. Anthrogenic? No, anthropogenic. Geography. There's no such word. Aha! This looks about right. Anthropomorphism. That's got to be the same thing, isn't it? The attribution of human form, motivation, characteristics, or behaviour to inanimate objects, animals, or God. Why do papers use words like that no one can bloody well understand? They try and be clever. They try and be. Oh, they're so important. These people who work for newspapers, aren't they? They really are. Anyway, let's get back to this story after that problem we had with the word there, boys and girls. Go on, don't tell me you knew what that meant, because I think you're lying. No one knew what that word meant there. We don't know half of what's going on underground, and beneath the bark, he says, we've been looking at nature for the last 100 years. It's like it's a machine. The key to it, he says, is the so-called Wood Wide Web. Trees messaging their distress in electrical signals via their roots and across fungi networks, like our nerve system, to others nearby when they are under attack. By the same means, they feed stricken trees, nurture some saplings, their most beloved child, and restrict others to keep the community strong. Trees may recognise with their roots who are their friends, who are their families, where their kids are. They may also recognise trees that are not so welcome. There are some stumps in these old beach reservations that are alive, and there are some that are rotten, which obviously have no contact with the roots of supporting neighbours. So what do you reckon on that, eh? Are trees talking to each other? That is the question. I think they probably are, actually. Don't you? I reckon so. How can they not be talking to each other? I mean, what a boring life that must be for people that don't talk. Mind you, there are some that go on and on. Take my sister, for example. Once she goes on and on and on, dear, and I can't stand that. Okay, some messages from yesterday. Hello to Simon Keane. Morning, Mr. Chop Chop, he says. My pal has a pet name for his car. He calls it the baby because it never goes anywhere without a rattle. Please don't send jokes in. They're just not funny. No jokes are funny. My friend Ben Parker and Ray Reynolds are always telling me jokes, and I just, they're just not funny. Jokes are not funny. Jokes not funny. Unfortunate things happening to other people are funny. So if you've got any stories like that, maybe you were, pushing around a trolley and suddenly a child jumped out into the freezer. Now that is funny. That is funny in the supermarket. Or someone, walking along and slipping head over foot onto the floor. Now that is funny. Jokes, not funny. I'm sorry. Please stop sending jokes. Someone also says the BBC is at Salford Quays, Manchester. Yeah, but I don't think breakfast time is. I have a feeling breakfast time is still done from London. Not sure. Simon also says, did you know a cat's meow is for the benefit of humans? True, that is. 8 out of 10 cats prefer whiskers, whereas the other 2 have a shave every morning. Well, I wish my cat would have a shave. Oh, she's been moaning this morning. Meow, meow, meow. Like that she goes. Oh, dear. Only 2 birthdays for you this morning, boys and girls. The 2 birthdays are Crystal Titch Maize. Happy birthday, Crystal Titch Maize. Beautiful picture of a chapel on your Facebook page, I noticed there. Happy birthday, Crystal. And happy birthday to Joeanna JOsephus. Happy birthday to Joeanna JOsephus. Here comes the song. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Crystal and Joanna. Happy birthday to you. All right? Have a nice day, girls. Have a lovely day. Tonight, being a Sunday night, we're back at the Golden Lion in Sydenham, boys and girls. It's Sunday night, every Sunday night, karaoke at the Golden Lion in Sydenham. It's starting at 8 o'clock and finishes at 12 midnight. There's a load of new songs as well, just been put onto the system by me last night as well, okay. All right, so once again, tonight, it's Sunday night, karaoke tonight and every Sunday at the Golden Lion in Sydenham, starting at 8 o'clock and finishing at 12 midnight. Have a lovely Sunday. We'll chat soon. Bye-bye.